Now that I've decided to start a vlog, I'm going to need a camera. But which one should I use? Lucky for me, I already own a few camera systems. All I have to do now is just to find a suitable one. Preferably something small. So first of all, I got my Canon 1DX. Now this is an excellent camera. I use it for work all the time. But there's one problem with this camera. It's so big that it scares people.
So big!
First of all, that's what she said. And secondly, the 1DX will not be my camera of choice for vlogging. Next up, I got the Sony a7S. Now this camera is a lot smaller, but it's still big enough to scare some people.
Huh? Is it too big?
Once again, that's what she said. To be fair, the a7S is a lot smaller than most other DSLRs in the market, so that's not really the problem I have with this camera. The problem is that the LCD screen doesn't flip up all the way to the front or swivel out to the side. In other words, there is no way for me to frame my shots while I'm filming myself. And so, the a7S will also not be my camera of choice for vlogging. Last but not least, we have the Sony RX100 Mark IV. Now this is a small camera, but it shoots pretty good video. ISO performance isn't too great for low light, but I can work with that. Add in super slow motion, 4K, and a screen that flips to the front, and I think the RX100 Mark IV is my choice for vlogging. Now the RX100 Mark IV is not without its flaws. First of all, you can't attach an external microphone as there is no microphone jack, and you can't monitor audio levels as there is no headphone jack, and you can't adjust the audio levels manually. So the only option is dual sync audio via an external recorder and microphone. And for that, I'm using the Zoom H1 handy recorder and Rode VideoMicro. Now the problems doesn't end here. As this is a compact camera, I can't change the lens, and 24mm at the widest isn't wide enough for vlogging. At least not for me. So I've come up with an idea for a mod, and I'll be happy to demonstrate. For this mod, first you will need a wide-angle converter lens. I'm using the Zome 58mm Ultra Slim 0.45x wide-angle converter lens. I've tested several wide-angle converter lenses and found that this model is the best. I got mine off Amazon. Or was it eBay? I don't remember. Whichever is cheaper. Next, you will need a 34 to 58mm step-up filter ring adapter. Why 34mm, you ask? Well, that's because 34mm also happens to be the same diameter as the lens opening on the RX100 Mark IV. And that's it. That's all the important parts you will need for this mod. So all you have to do now is to attach the filter ring adapter to the camera. And in order to do that, you will need to grind off these threads. So once you're done with the grinding, your filter ring adapter should look something like this. Threadless, smooth, and flush to the surface. Now the next part may sound ridiculous, but trust me, it works. You will need to stick the filter ring adapter to the camera with blue tack. You may use super glue, but I prefer something not so permanent. The area to apply the blue tack on the camera is around this surface. Once you're done, your camera should look like this, and all that is left is to screw on the wide-angle converter lens. And that's it. Mod completed. I bet you must be wondering, what's the difference? How much wider is it? Is the image quality still good? Well, let me show you. This is without the wide-angle lens converter. This is with the wide-angle lens converter. It's clearly wider with the lens converter on. The RX100 Mark IV is 24mm at its widest, so I would say that this is about 19mm maybe? Image quality has definitely taken a hit. The corners are a lot softer and there is noticeable color fringing. But for me, I would gladly give up some image quality for a much wider field of view. Besides, I can always remove this wide-angle lens when I don't need it. One last thing. This Zoom wide-angle lens converter loses the ability to focus once your camera is zoomed in. What this means is that your camera has to be at the widest focal length for you to be able to focus, which is fine, because what's the point of zooming in if you are going to put a wide-angle lens converter, right? So yeah, anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Bye.